Democrats, they can't walk the walk, and so-called centrists in the party really want them to stop talking this talk.
A multiracial democracy, if you're not white or cisgender or straight or a man.
Fail black birthing people.
Shelter for the unhoused.
I really believe we need radical transparency.
BIPOC staffers in the national security workforce.
All of those buzzwords, I call them barf words, AKA the entire Democrat dictionary is now on a blue blacklist. A new memo from the think tank Third Way urging fellow Democrats to stop saying things like
Latinx, BIPOC?
BIPOC.
I don't know what this is. Birthing person? Because, shocker, it ain't working. Here live on set to discuss this is podcast host Ben Ferguson, along with Federalist reporter Brianna Lyman. It's definitely Friday.
I wish you would have botched my name there so bad. That would have been just perfect timing.
No, you can't make fun of me. We're friends.
LGBTQIA+.
Over under that Lisa gets to text her mom in the next 35 seconds on that
probably,
one. Yeah, it's there. We love you, Mom.
But so, Ben, so this didn't win over voters. Why?
Yeah, right? Like, how would that be possible? Like, I do love that every time we come here, it's like the theater of the mind insanity of the Democratic Party. It's like, okay, if we use these words, then they're going to like us. If we don't use these words, then they're going to like us. It's like, maybe you're just not authentic. Maybe people just don't even know who the hell you are anymore. Maybe you have no control over your own party, what they stand for, what they believe in. And when you're sending out words like this and you're like, don't say this or do say this or don't do this or do say, like, it just makes me laugh. It is embarrassing, but this is the state of the Democratic Party.
I read the entire piece from this think tank, and a lot of the words actually they are like chest feeder.
Yeah, like
that is,
it's
and
gross,
the piece does say you're alienating groups of people.
Like 7 people?
But we have had congressman after congressman use these words in public and call witness after witness in congressional hearings using this language. It is about control of thought and word.
It is, and I'm curious if this memo also went out to the media or whether they expected the propaganda arm of the Democratic Party to fall in line, because like you said, it's not just Democrats saying it, it's the media. They wanted to reinforce these crazy ideas. And to Ben's point, any party that needs a memo on how to appeal to the average American is a party that's toast. And I think the biggest problem with this, the language is not the problem. It's the underlying policies. They didn't randomly pick these words.
Yeah.
These are words they chose because they said, this best exemplifies my party's ideas. You can drop the words all you want, but if you don't drop the policies, you're going to continue to drop voters.
Yeah. Great point. So we want to move on to this as well. So a Florida parent is sounding the alarm after an outrageous event happened to her son at school. You've got to listen to this.
My older son's history teacher allowed students to label him a Nazi file simply for his interest in history and participation in ROTC. She later nominated my son as the most likely to become a dictator and had his classmates vote on it and try to force him to the front of the class to receive the certificate, which he rightly refused, all because of his conservative values and our perspectives.
I mean, Ben, I'm not a parent yet, but I would.
I got 3 boys, and I can just tell you that type of level of bullying is disgusting. I felt bad for that mom. You could tell she was nervous. She was shooken up, as any parent should be. This is also the reason why Americans need to wake up and understand school choice can get your kid out of this situation. This is the public school system. They want to bully kids into believing things. They want to chastise you and say you're a Nazi if you're a conservative. They want to give you a piece of paper and make you come get it in front of the class. Like, this is the public shaming that causes kids, by the way, to take their own lives. We've seen this happen before. The fact that this teacher is like under investigation, like, you should just be able to say you are fired. You have a role. We give you a responsibility. You were clearly chastising a child in front of the entire class, saying if you're a conservative, you're a Nazi. You should never be able to teach again anywhere in the public school system in this country. And the sad part is there's a lot of Democrats that are going to celebrate and support. And my other question is this: how many other teachers are doing this that we don't know about?
That was the that was my question. Someone brought up to me today how his son's classroom, the whole classroom, had some sort of like therapy session the day after the election last November. Now, granted, it was here in New York City, but how many children, even small children, are silenced or even directly threatened by these?
100%.
This is union thought control is what it is, but by these people, by these left-wing nuts.
Yeah, I think to the point of thought control, you know, what you have to understand is for years, the left has always maligned conservatives. Hitler, Nazi, fascist, dictator.
Donald Trump.
And this type of rhetoric fuels political violence. That culminates in things like assassination attempts against the president because it teaches people that conservatives are not just a political opponent, they are enemies of the state and enemies of humanity. And to see this type of toxic framing being used at a high school level with impressionable teenagers are being taught, if you stray from that liberal thought orthodoxy, you're out. Something's wrong with you.
Well,
That's dangerous.
And I'll never forget, it was our own government that said if you're a parent and you go to a teacher conference, you go to the school board meeting, we will label you what? A domestic terrorist.
You know what?
That is in the United States of America under the prior administration.
And you know what they were upset about? You know why parents were raising their voices at school board
Because you had
meetings?
dude, go ahead.
Mask.
Yeah.
Mask. It was the masking of their children that they were angry about, and they were labeled terrorists.
He's gone, though. Thank God.
Ben Ferguson.
Bye-bye.
But they'll come back.
I know.
That's the whole point.
Gotta watch them.
We can just be happy now. We can be celebrating.